Right, so for our Explorer free test this week, we're going to be running our 80 card Urian version, and we're going to take what I used from the previous version of basically can we run Deathright Shaman in the deck. So running through, we've got our standard 8 multi-card payoff of, I need to remember to put the preview plane up when we do deck techs. Put you there. We've got our standard multi-card payoffs of the Hero Precinct 1, a human 1/1 every time we cast a multicolored spell. Spoiler alert, there's a lot in the deck. And the Widespread Thievery, Hideaway 5, and whenever we cast a multicolored spell, create a treasure token, then we may play Wooburg, one of every mana colour. If we do, we may play the card from exile without paying its mana cost. So these 8 cards are our additional payoffs. And as a core NIV to Light deck, we're built purely around NIV Mizzet Reborn. Flying 6/6 Wooburg, when he enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10, and for every colour pair, put one of those cards into your hand. And it's called NIV to Light because obviously Bring to Light is a 5 mana sorcery, recently reprinted Double Masters, thankfully. I'm going to grab the foils now when they're super cheap, which they were already, I'm just a cheapskate. Search your library, it has converged. So we search our library for a creature, instant or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to the number of colours we spent casting the spell. So, this entire deck is built around the premise that we bring to light for 5 mana, cast a NIV Mizzet for free, and then load our hand up with multicoloured cards. Now obviously that's 5 mana, so that's why we run our multicolored payoffs here for early curve, additional value and additional threats. Sorry for the long-winded explanation for anyone who knows this, but someone did point out in my LGS that I go into these assuming that people, I should approach these as if they've never played the NIV deck before. So, what do we look to hit with our NIV Mizzet Reborn? Well, here's our 10 colours of magic, so we'll go through each guild. We have the Azorius Charm, which is a good answer to aggressive decks and also just a good cycle, like replaces itself if it's irrelevant. And 2 Supreme Verdicts for the board wipe, uncounterable for mana Wrath, always useful. Full playset of Vanishing Verse. There is so much monocolored stuff that we have to answer here, and this is diverse in what it answers. It'll answer everything from an annoying enchantment, planeswalker or creature. Drown in the Lock. With the huge increase in graveyard decks, we are running Drown in the Lock over Tyrant Scorn because we can either counter a spell or destroy a creature with mana value equal to or less. Spoiler alert against Izzet Phoenix, where they throw half their deck in the graveyard by turn 3. This card is very valuable right now. Then we have for Izzet the Wandering Mind, a 3 mana horror, 2/1 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, we look at the top 6 cards of our library and we mill a non-creature, non-land card and put them into our hand. Really solid card, good card selection, blinkable with Urian. We have 2 Dreadbore for creature planeswalker removal, 2 Colligan's Command to rebuy creatures. This is good if someone thought seizes on NIV Mizzet, we can get it back with this. Also answers the artifact for the Greasefang reanimation combo. Valky, God of Lies / Tybalt the Cosmic Imposter. 7 mana planeswalker, we can +2 to reveal the top card of each player's library, exile the top card of each player's library, -3 exile an artifact or creature, or -8 exile all graveyards, and add triple red. And when he enters we get an emblem that lets us cast spells exile with him, paying any colour mana. This guy's in here because of the synergy with Bring to Light. So when you Bring to Light, you exile the card, then choose how you want to cast it. In the case of double-sided cards, we get to choose which side we cast. So if we Bring to Light for Converge 2, for example, green, blue, and nothing else, just triple blue, green, green, we can still grab Valky and cast the reverse side of Tybalt. So yes, very powerful play, always good. The main reason we're testing out this version of the deck, we're going to run Deathright Shaman. This is our 1-drop, Hybrid Golgari. 3 abilities, the cheapest planeswalker they say in history. Tap, exile a land from a graveyard, add 1 mana of any colour. Tap and pay a black, exile instant or sorcery, deal target opponent, each opponent loses 2 life, or tap, exile, and green, exile a creature card from a graveyard, you gain 2 life. Now, in testing, I never saw why this card was so insane, and I've now seen it in matchups because I keep forgetting about its other abilities. Literally, this thing sits back, and Incidental Graveyard Hate is great, but also just being able to go, okay, against the grindy control matchup, oh, okay, I'm gonna at the end step just pay a black and make you lose 2 life. It is weird how you have to answer this card. 2 copies of Sin Divines on our main board. My personal card that I absolutely love. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage to them, and you can sacrifice it, destroy an artifact or enchantment, and deal 2 damage to player or controller. Probably going to go up more copies of this as we go along, because it just keeps impressing me, and it's one of my pet cards that I've always loved. Yeah, not much to say on it, just watch my matches and see how this performs. 2 Justice Strikes in the main board, instant speed answers to any kind of creature that we have to kill. Spoiler alert, Greasefang, before they get to a certain phase. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Relevant to notice that it's a creature dealing damage to itself. So for example, if the creature has Death Touch, even 1 damage will kill it. If the creature has Lifelink, its controller will gain that life. Very relevant point. Deafening Clarion, mini board wipe / life gain. 2 Celestia Charms. These are kind of a holdover from our previous deck, but they still answer. I say before, pumping can be relevant, dropping a token is not bad, and exiling a huge threat is never not a bad thing. And then we got the Bring to Light and NIV, as we've previously said. It's a 35 land deck. I'll just hover here so if anyone wants to take a look at the lands we're running. Running full Fables because we want to try and get stuff in our graveyard. For see how that goes. Right, now sideboard, very quickly. Yorion, we're an 80 card deck, so naturally double Yorion. So we have Control Hate, Artifact Enchantment Hate, Resilient creature that comes back all the time, basically a 4/4 that dies, turns into a token producer, then flips back after so many turns. Additional Selesnya Charm just for the matches where we need more removal. Tyrant Scorn as a catch-all removal and bounce spell. 2 more Deafening Clarions, 1 Clophis. I think this is going to turn into a Sin Divines. Her abilities are great, but they are just grinding down now, and I think being able to dump multiple Sin Divines in certain control matchups is way better. Like, literally having a player go, I could counter that spell, but I'll get bolted in the face for free. It's very relevant. And another big change, we're running a full playset of Leyline here. This is just Phoenix and the Rat combo. We have a tough game 1 that we can sometimes win, but we just need some more revealing chances. So I'm going to put a full playset in the sideboard like we do in Modern when Dredge and Phoenix was huge. And I'm sure that now I've done this, I will not run into a match in these next 3 games or we test. See you in game 1.